Hey, Shad here with Speed Addicts, your favorite gear site and superstore. And in today's video, we're gonna talk about the brand new Nexx Y.Travl. What's up, Speed Addicts fam? Before we get into the new release from the folks over at Nexx, do us a favor, subscribe to the channel. That way you're up to date on all the latest gear releases. You're making excellent buying decisions on all your parts and gear, and we really appreciate that support. If you're gonna shop for gear online, of course, Speed Addicts is the place to do it. We make that easy if you're not already at speedaddicts.com. There's a link in the description down there. They'll take you right over to the complete selection of Nexx helmets at Speed Addicts, where the Nexx Y.Travl ships for free and comes with the industry's best return policy, a full 90 days, and a free return shipping label. So shop risk-free for your next helmet at speedaddicts.com. And if you are the type that likes to shop in person, you like to touch it and feel it before you pull the trigger, well, if you're in SoCal, you're in luck, because you can just come on down to the brand new Speed Addicts Superstore in Orange County with the world's greatest helmet wall, boot wall, e-moto, e-bikes, all sorts of cool stuff, and you get to wave hello to me and producer Matt. Okay, here we are. It is the Nexx Y.Travl. As a Y as in yellow, okay? They're not posing a question to you. I think there's something in translation there from Portugal. So this is a European designed and manufactured helmet. They're not outsourcing to Asia like most of their competitors. They're actually a Portuguese company, and they're making their helmets right there in Europe, which is pretty rad. Now, this is essentially a repurposed, was it Y100R? Yeah, so the Y series full face helmet, the Y100R, which is kind of a sport touring lid. They repurposed that for the Y.Travl by putting the peak on it. You still have the drop down visor, and here we have a polycarbonate dual sport helmet that is comm system ready and under $300 for the solid color. So this is gonna come in at $289, and it's made in Europe. So when it comes to dual sport helmets, there's really not a lot of competition in that $200 to $300 price range, and we think this is probably the best dual sport helmet, technically speaking, now between $200 and $300. If you're gonna spend less than $200, of course there's some bargains down there, but really the only thing this is running up against is the Bell MX-9 Adventure, which is, while decent, not on the same level. That MX-9 was designed a long time ago. It's a lot more basic in terms of all the fit and finish and the trim pieces. It's a big step up, and it's only, I think, about $30 or $40 more than that MX-9. We're gonna go through the whole thing today so you can decide if one is right for you. So the base colors, the solids, $289. If you move into the graphics, they're gonna charge you about a $50 premium. So the graphics are gonna be $339. So you're gonna break that $300 price tag, but you are getting a pin lock insert. More on that later. They call it a Polyfusion shell. These manufacturers really try to soup up the name for plastic, which is the shell material in this case. Now, why are more expensive helmets more expensive? You see an $800 helmet. Why is that? As you move up, you tend to move into more exotic materials like carbon, Kevlar, fiberglass, that sort of thing. Polycarbonate keeps the price tag down, and this is probably the top range for a polycarbonate priced helmet, okay? So keep that in mind. The weight, 3 pounds, 15 ounces in a size extra large, which is what we have on the table here. So a little bit on the heavier side. That's not uncommon for a dual sport helmet, especially once it has the drop down sun visor. So you have this drop down sun visor, extra piece, the mechanism that raises and lowers that, as well as the peak. So we're adding on weight here. The Y100R is gonna be a little bit less weight. The helmet is DOT and ECE 2206, which is awesome. So we're passing the latest safety standards here. We like that. The fit is a true intermediate oval. It runs true to size. It fits great. I really like the Y100R, the street variant of this Y.Travl. Fits really agreeable. Go by the sizing chart. You shouldn't have any issues if you're an intermediate oval shaped head, which most folks here in North America are. You're gonna have great luck. Sizes extra small through to extra large are available. Again, Speed Addicts has the best return policy in the business, so if you're shopping for a helmet online, shop risk free over at Speed Addicts. We don't even nickel and dime you for that return shipping. Why am I jumping the gun, producer Matt? I'm taking this out. We're not flipping this over yet. Rusty here. The holidays are setting in. Okay, So first up, we have a peak here. So three points of contact with the helmet, and they actually have these little vibration dampeners. That's what these orange accents are. It's actually a softer material, so you're not taking hard plastic, attaching it to the shell. It's gonna cut down on noise or vibration that could enter the helmet, which is a smart way to do it. Orange accents don't look bad either. You do have a little bit of adjustment if you loosen that up, but not a whole lot. You can tell that they've designed this to be a dual sport helmet and that there's a lot of this peak missing. The point is to let the air flow through and over the helmet instead of getting caught up in the peak like you would on a traditional like off-road helmet, and that really starts to pull at speeds like over 45 or 50, right? So this is designed for highway speeds without pulling or buffeting on your head. Now they've had to back this up a fair bit to make room for the face shield. We also have a ram air vent that is hiding underneath that peak. I'd say that's probably one of the gripes I have with the helmet is that it is a little bit hard to access the slider for this. Now you have to kind of reach up and under. They do have a couple little traction bumps here so you can feel where you are, kind of like Braille, underneath that peak, or you can reach through on the top and slide it here, okay? So that's your primary point of ventilation. You also have a chin bar vent down here, again, kind of with that vibration absorbing material between it and the frame of the helmet. One of the great things you're gonna get with your purchase of a Y.Travl helmet is going to be a pin lock insert. They're including that at that $289 base price, which is pretty cool. This is gonna deal with fog. So you notice the face shield is pin lock prepped, okay? And it is injection molded, also made in Portugal. It is optically correct, and it is stout. How many positions does it have? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions. How do they hold up? We got a little bit of movement on the detents, but not too bad. Now, the visor mechanism itself is really easy, and there are a full suite of visor options. If you want to go with smoke, iridium, different colors, Nexx has all those available. They're available at Speed Addicts, and that's how easy this visor comes off, even with the peak in place. You don't have to remove the peak or anything like that. It's kind of this one trigger pull, and you're off, and then you're going to put it right back in by just smushing down in that open position. Again, always remove your face shields when the visor's up. Put them on in the same way. Big eye port. Admittedly, not quite as big as most dual sport helmets because remember, this started life as a street sport touring helmet that they've kind of repurposed with the peak to be a dual sport helmet. So while a decent eye port or a big eye port for street use, one of the big advantages of dual sport helmets is that the eye port is more like a motocross helmet. So it's going to be a little bit bigger than this one. So if you're going to run goggles, or you're actually going to be doing lots of miles off-road, more technical off-road riding on your dual sport or adventure machine, you might want to go towards a more purpose-built dual sport helmet. Otherwise, I know a lot of folks have dual sport adventure bikes that basically stay on the pavement most of the time, and that's who I would recommend this for. Drop down sun visor, easily actuated over here. They put the actuator up top so it's not in the way of the comm system, which we'll be talking about next. Okay, so integrated comms. It's the Nexx XCOM 3 series that's meant to work with the Y.Travl here. When it is installed, it is going to be real seamless. You're just going to have a control panel right there. This door comes off when you're going to install that, and you're good to go. They have two different versions of the XCOM 3. They have the standard and the Pro. It's like a 20 series equivalent. They're made by Senna. So you have the standards like a 20 series equivalent, and then the Pro is going to be more like the full suite of 50 series features with mesh and digital assistant and all that sort of stuff. Now, if you're saying, hey, I've already got a Cardo Pack Talk, I love it, can I use that? Yes, there are speaker pockets on the inside, and you could use a mount to put any comm system you want. You do have to contend with this door, but you can make it work, okay? I know it's a common question. In terms of the rest of the ventilation here on the back, you do have large passive ventilation down at the bottom and on the top. So this helmet really does ventilate quite well. The feedback on the street variant has been very positive. And I think this is the year where this helmet, both the dual sport, the Y.Travl, and that Y100R really break out for Nexx. Let's flip this over. We're going to check out the interior. So one thing that sets us apart from most of the competitors in this price range is the neck roll. It's got a really positive neck roll that is separate from the cheek pad. So this is gonna make a great seal around the bottom of your head. Noise is a very subjective subject. How noisy or how loud a helmet is really depends on who's riding it, what they're riding it on, and the fit. Number one thing you can do to cut down on noise, make sure your helmet fits as snugly as possible without causing pain. That's why we always recommend you try it on at home. Watch TV for 20 or 30 minutes. Make sure it's fitting you, squeezing you tight, but not causing you pain or discomfort, right? So get it fit snug, but then look for helmets with a neck roll like this. It's really gonna seal off your ears from the noise coming up from the bike. Another premium feature you're getting is, what do they call this one? their chin strap. Everybody has a different name for their ratchet style chin strap. Nexx calls it the micrometric stainless steel buckle chin strap. There it is. So another feature that is very polarizing. People either love these or avoid them. If you're riding around town and you are getting in and out of your helmet a lot, it is really sweet. Once you have that, going back to the D-ring seems tedious, right? Up front, we've got ventilation coming in from that chin bar vent. That's all actuated from the other side, but plenty of room to put a microphone sticky on there. And then we're gonna go ahead and remove the full breakdown for you. Okay. The buckle is hanging up here. All right, this is what they call X-Mart Dry liner moisture wicking. There it is. Not a whole lot to the cheek pad, enough to make it comfortable, but not so much foam that the helmet's gonna break in a whole lot and cause you problems. All right, let's go ahead and pull this. They do have emergency releases on them. They are not called out. So, you know, hopefully EMS takes their time checking for them. I'd say they could call that out with some sort of sticker or have this kind of jumping out. The neck roll kind of hides the emergency release for the cheek pad, something I've noticed. 2-year warranty from Nexx on the Y.Travl. We'll go ahead and pull the other cheek pad out of place. In there, underneath this neck roll, you're gonna see a speaker pocket. Again, use the Nexx XCOM standard or the Pro series or your own universal comm. All right. There we are. So they went with this kind of high-vis yellow color as an accent in here. And we have snaps on the back with the brow blade in the front so you don't have snaps up in your temple area. Inside, a dual density EPS liner that is again passing DOT and the latest ECE 2206 standard. Really aggressive channeling and porting here for ventilation. Like I said, the suite of passive vents on the back combined with that ram air on top means that you're gonna be well ventilated for your dual sport adventure. So Y.Travl, in a nutshell, I think it's really kind of blowing away the competition in that $200 to $300 price range for a dual sport helmet. If you're someone that is spending most of their time on road, I'd say like 70% on road versus off road, this is a great option for you. It is affordable. You got a 2-year warranty, drop down visor, ECE 2206. They're even including that pin lock insert, a lot from the folks over in Portugal at Nexx for your next dual sport adventure. That's it for today. Come down to the Superstore, check one out in person or shop online. Appreciate you. We'll see you next time to find out what's in the crate.